Hey, what's up guys? This week we're taking a closer look at Bin Soap Company's chai tea. So let's get right into our video. So this week we are returning to the chai tea by the Bin Soap Company. Last week we took a closer look at what is the tangerine spice. So if you're interested in that one by Bin, I'll leave a link down below in the description. You're more than welcome to go check that out at your leisure. But this week we're coming back to the chai tea. They only have 2 fall editions, so after this we will be moving on to another company. But I figured it'd be a great idea to take take a closer look at both of them. Yeah. Before we take a closer look at the chai tea, I do want to remind you and make it clear that the links down below will be affiliated. Bin Soap Company is the only company I'm affiliated with, so if you use the link down below, those purchases do come back and help support the channel. So if you make that decision, thank you so much for your support. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a closer look at our soap. And starting off with the packaging of the chai tea, as you can tell, we have the paper sleeve as always. Pretty traditional at this point. Now that sleeve is slightly glued on, so you don't have to worry about it slipping on and off the soap. I know some people are concerned about that. Now the paper is kind of like a fine material. It's not necessarily a paper or construction paper, if you will. It's actually more higher quality. And of course, you got your little marketing mumbo jumbo. You got your ingredients on the back. Nice, clean, and professional as always. Now let's jump into our soap here. We have our 4.5 ounce bar soap. Nice, deep, dark brown color. Much darker than the tangerine spice, which had a much lighter golden color, if you will. This one, darker, more earthy looking. I wonder why. I'm not quite sure why some of their soaps are darker than others. Maybe is the amount of goat's milk they put in the soaps, or it's just the different essential oils maybe, or the spices or whatnot. Not 100% sure, but that's my guess. I mean, there can only be 2 options, right? But either way, very nice, clean looking bar soap. But let's go ahead and move on to the ingredient section of our video. Now guys, you're not gonna get very many ingredients here. It's pretty typical of Bin Soap Company. You obviously get your goat's milk, but you get a couple of staple oils, and then you're gonna be followed up with a few different essential oils. The only thing that really makes this one worth talking about really is our little a list of essential oils here. And this is definitely gonna be a little foreshadowing into the next section, but this is definitely a spicy soap. We definitely got some activity going on here in our essential oil blend here. Right, you got the cinnamon, your cardamom, your ginger, some nutmeg, some allspice, right? So you definitely have some activity here. And just speaking purely based on the soaps I looked at or used or reviewed in the past by Bin, I'm pretty confident this is easily their most complicated soap, or complex I should say, with all the different essential oils. Now, if you're someone who's not necessarily a big fan of soaps that lean heavily on spices for their scent, then I'm gonna tell you right now, this soap's not for you. I don't recommend this soap right up front. Now, if this sounds like heaven to you, then you may want to stick around a little bit longer, as I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on that scent in the next section. All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk about the scent of the chai tea here. Now, pretty straightforward, pretty simple here. This does actually smell like chai tea, to keep it simple. Definitely a much more complicated, more complex smelling soap compared to our tangerine spice, right? Where that one had a tangerine clove, combination going on. This one's just straight up spice, straight up spicy soap. Now, what's fascinating about this one is I think this one do very well in the fall season, but I think it also work in the winter or the Christmas holiday season as well. I say that because it had like these hints of ginger, maybe reminding me like gingerbread houses, right? Now, some people are gonna like that, some people are not. Totally get it. Ginger for me is that hit or miss kind of thing. If it's too obnoxious, I'm out. But I occasionally like a little ginger here. When it complements things, I find it can be relatively really nice. And I think that's the case here. It doesn't go overboard with it, but it definitely makes a presence. So do be aware of that if you're someone who is not a fan. Now, I did find this soap to be a little bit stronger than the tangerine spice. Now, it's not overly strong. Bin Soap companies don't typically tend to be very aggressive or strong. They tend to be more on the subtle side of things. However, this one, I actually found this one to be a little more potent compared to the other one. So for some people, this may be some good news. For others, not so much. But know that this one's got a little more oomph to it. So really, at the end of the day, I think you got a couple prerequisites here, whether or not you're gonna like this soap or not, or at least the way it smells. Is one, I think you gotta like spicy soaps, right? You gotta like soaps that are straight up spices, like clove and cinnamon and nutmeg and ginger and things like that. Do you like that type of stuff? If so, I think you're going to at least appreciate the soap. Secondly, you gotta like chai tea. If you like the smell of chai tea, that's another good reason why you might want to check the soap out. They really nail it here. It smells just like chai tea. And one more prerequisite I'm gonna throw in here is knowing whether or not you like ginger or not. The ginger, again, is not overly powerful, but it is enough to make a presence here. So just be aware of that and know if you like ginger or not. At this point, I almost feel like a broken record with Ben Soap Company. Ingredients are outstanding, all natural, goat milk soaps. If you're not aware, Ben Soap Company actually has their own little goat farm, and they get their little goat milk from their own little farm. I mean, it's kind of hard to beat that, right? There's organic, but then there's like really organic. There's backstreet organic. Just really good stuff. I mean, no artificial colors or scents or anything like that. I mean, it's just really good stuff. And the quality of soaps speak for themselves. I mean, they're very popular on this channel. My family uses them. I use them. Great stuff. I mean, the lotions are fantastic. Really good stuff. Now, for the chai tea, I was really surprised how much I actually did like this one. I'm typically not always the biggest fan of spicy soaps and things like that. They're hit and miss, right? Especially when you started like throwing in all kind of different things. I don't know, sometimes it can be obnoxious. It's just not my favorite, but I will admit this was pretty nice. I think my only criticism here is maybe lower the ginger a little bit. It gave me gingerbread house vibes, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just when I think of that stuff, I think more Christmas. I think more wintry months, not necessarily fall. And that's just due to my childhood, you know, old mama and granny, you know, baking all the time, and sort of reminds me of that past, if you will. Now, I know some of you are like, wait, well, no, don't do that. Ginger's really good. And I totally understand. Won't argue, won't fight you there. In fact, one of my co-workers, literally this morning, I showed him and he bought one this morning. You know what I mean? So some people are going to really like this. I totally get that. I may be in the minority here. But I will say this. These type of soaps are hard to recommend because I personally find when I show people these soaps, not everyone's like, oh my goodness. It's usually kind of that 50-50, 60-40 sort of thing where it's some people like it, some people don't, right? So for me, really important to follow those prerequisites. If those type of things really sing to you, ooh, go for it. I think you're really gonna like this soap. I really do. If not, maybe give some pause. Go check out the tangerine spice, right? That's more my thing too. That might be your thing. So go check that one out. That one's really good. I did a review last week and I really liked it. I like the citrus element of that one. Now some of you might prefer the more spicy, that kind of thing, like this one. Check this one out. Both of them are really great. Both are really good. It's all about preferences and knowing yourself here. But either way, I think you're gonna be fine. These soaps come at 4.5 ounces, so good solid bar, and they come at $5.95, under $6. So good value here. You're getting great all natural soap milk, goat milk soaps, and just really good stuff. But as I said, guys, that's my review. I think the soap's really good, and I recommend it to anyone who likes good, natural, spicy soaps. But you guys know the drill. I'll see you next week. Stay safe, be careful, and be safe out there. Be careful what you say. It's a weird time we live in now. But either way, you guys, stay natural, and peace.